Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. Let's take a look at a couple of quick things here and then I want to talk about how to trade next week. We've got a weekly, daily, and 30-minute chart of the spiders. From a weekly perspective, you can see, of course, we've slammed down into key support from the summer of 2019, basically. We are barely holding that 89 period moving average on a weekly chart. On the daily chart, of course, we've eclipsed all that, and in fact, the moving averages have stacked negative. Before, I would always talk about when the markets were extended to look for that reversion to the mean, reversion to the mean, reversion to the mean. Well, it works the same way this way too. And so the question is from here, because this morning it looked like we were just going to do a major puke-a-rama, but ultimately things stabilized. We actually had a pretty solid rally into the close. You can see here this nice squeeze here that we caught. There was a squeeze on the S&P 500 once we took this out, and it was like a 50 points on the S&P 500, which is pretty nice. Closed near the highs of the day, and so the question is what's in store for next week? Well, there's a couple of things I'm looking at, and a couple strategies that I'm favoring. The first thing is keep in mind, this is a tool that really measures how long or short people are. Basically, now everybody's panicked and short. The last time this happened was October of 2019. All right, so this was, October 2019. So it's been a long time. When this happens, basically it's at that moment in time when everybody thinks it's the end of the world, and then basically that forms a bottom. Okay, now it doesn't mean it's a bottom and you're going on and everybody lives happily ever after, but it does typically invoke a multi-week rally. Well, guess what? We're here again too. The main point of this is to be careful. The time to short was back here, and that's actually where we'd put on a bunch of hedges. Now the time is to be careful on the short side because we're due for a 1 to 2 week snapback rally. Now ultimately I think that ends in tears. Just remember that the market is an equal opportunity dream killer. It does not go straight up or straight down either way, and whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend, these extremes always play out the same way. Okay? All right, so let's talk about the best kind of signals in this market. So first of all, I want to emphasize three quick things, and it's why focus on the indexes. Okay, these are the S&P futures. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't trade futures, you could still do the spiders, but the key is you've got to get the signals off of the futures because they're trading 24 hours, they're generating better signals. So the reason you want to focus is on the indexes is when they're this volatile, it's basically so go indexes, okay? So go basically almost all stocks. Let's call it 96% of stocks. So sure, there's going to be some like TDOC is bucking the trend right now, but if you're doing an analysis just on a stock, you're missing out. Secondly, on the short side, there's no reason not to do anything except indexes in this environment. Okay, and you've got liquidity, you've got tight spreads. Okay, and again, you're going to save a ton of time. Save time. And then lastly, if you're, say you get a signal on the stock market and you think it's going to go down and instead you like short Amazon, well, Amazon could get upgraded and you were right on the market, but you got screwed on the stock. So even though in a normal market where it's quiet, I actually spend way more time on stocks, in this kind of a market, you'll save so much time. Just focus on the indexes. So here's an example, 5-minute trade. Here's a Squeeze Pro. I'll talk more about this. Nice little kind of head and shoulders reversal. But the idea with this is that when you get these green bars, this is the time to start building up a position. All right. And then when you get the second set of green bars here, that's the warning that this is about to go. Start building up a position. Got 10 contracts here. And then how do you manage the trade on something like this, right? So I got a couple of step-by-steps here. So boom. Now you can see it's popping up and see how it's fired right there. So now you want to start locking in your profit. Again, 10 contracts here. Start locking in. I just zoomed out here a little bit so you can see a little bit more here, but we're just kind of hanging out here and hanging out. And so you want to like, okay, when am I going to get out? When am I going to get out? And now you can see it's pushing, it's pushing, and it's pushing. And now we've got $19,000 or $23,000 in profits. So when to get out, when to get out. And oh, not yet, not yet, not yet. And there. So what will happen here is when you see this dark blue candle, that means that the momentum's about to run out here, and that's when we get out, right? So boom. So that's the Squeeze Pro, and in this market it's been imperative. All right, so what is the Squeeze Pro? For those of you that, well, I guess let's do a couple things here. So the Squeeze Pro is an entire system for trading. and it works amazing in volatile markets. What I just showed you was an example of a Squeeze Pro, and in this environment, I kind of stay mostly in cash and just wait for the Squeeze Pro to tell me what to do next, long or short. I'm going to be doing a strategy class. This is going to be Saturday, March 7th, okay, which is tomorrow. I'm doing this video is on Friday, and it's going to be a soup to nuts strategy on how to do this, okay? And I'll also do live trading on the 10th and the 11th, and then additional live trading on the 24th and 25th. All right, so what does this include? All right, because real quick, and I've also had a lot of questions from people who already have the Squeeze Pro, and they're like, "Well, I'd like to just do the trading with you," and so I'll show you that too. But so basically, if this is a new concept for you, this is how this works. At the very least, I would encourage you to do the basic class. So what that is that you get a strategy class, and again, this is going to start the 7th, Saturday, March 7th at 12 noon Central, and then at 10 a.m. we're actually doing a special indicator installation, so you know how to do that. So we're going to go over the strategy. Now, if you're getting this like on Sunday, or you're like, I can't be there on Saturday, don't worry, it'll be recorded. You still want to get this though, because you can get this at the discounted price. It's always cheaper before the class is released into our store. But you can still get the recording. It will include the Squeeze Pro indicator itself. Okay, this is the money tool. You also get buy and sell signals, so you know whether to go long or short. If you're new to options, there'll be an Option 101 course included. Okay. Also, I'll give you my watch list, the main stocks I like to trade, as well as scans that I can use in Thinkorswim to find these. Okay. Now, the Pro version of this. So for the Pro version of this, it includes all of that, everything in the basic, plus the early in and out indicators. So those were the candlesticks that had the green on it saying you need to get in now because it's about to fire. And then they also they give you a heads up when the momentum's going to change so you know when to get out. Okay. And then the Elite version, this is just kind of like, you're just all in. So you get everything, of course, there. You also get a statistical tool that allows you to go back and see over the course of, 10 years, how did the squeeze do on this particular stock and what was the average length of it, and an additional 2 live trading days. So you might ask, like, okay, well, why the live trading days? And one question is, and you'll notice up here on the links, right? So there's simplertrading.com/new. Okay, that's this page that basically is, look, I don't have these tools. What are you talking about? And it looks awesome. And if you've already got them, you can go to simplertrading.com/trading, and that's a link to just sign up for the live trading. Okay, you're like, I got the tools, but I want to do the live trading. So why live trading? So whether or not you have the tools, why would you want to do the live trading? So first of all, if you're newer to trading or newer to my style, or anything like that, the thing about it is trading is a lot like golf. Like, okay, so think of this. So let's say that your boss says, "Hey, Steve, Jerry's sick. I need you to make up our foursome on Monday. We've got some important clients coming in, and we're going to play some golf together." And you're like, fine, because you say, yes, sir, and I got to figure out how to do that. So you've never played golf before, and over the weekend you read 3 books on golf. You become an expert on golf. How do you think you're going to do when you go out there to take that first swing off the tee with the 3 other people watching you, right? Well, you're not going to do good because you don't have any practical experience. You haven't sat there with a pro who's watching you do your swing. He's like, look, you're holding on to you're holding on too tight. You need to drive your left shoulder back. You need to drive with your hips, whatever it is. But if you don't have that practical experience, you're not going to be a good golfer, even though you know everything there is to know. And the same thing in trading. You may read a book and you know all about the moving averages, you know about the volume, but since you don't have the hands-on experience of trading with a professional, it's like, okay, do I get in right here? Or do I need to look at this time frame? When do I get out? Where do I set my stop? How do I know when I'm wrong? Where should I take profits? Okay, yeah, if you look at in hindsight on a PowerPoint, that's easy to tell. But what about in real time when what's happening right now? Okay, so these are all the questions and the checklists that we'll be compiling so you know what to do. All right, so we'll show all that on the Saturday class, but then we'll essentially show you how to do that live in the live trading portion of it. And then here's the bonus of this too, which is awesome. If you do have all these tools, you're like, well, why would I want to do the live trading? Or I'm kind of curious about it, but why would I want to do live trading? Have you seen the markets? these kind of markets, so trading is a skill, and once you learn the skill, you can make a consistent income in any market condition. And this is a market condition where you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. But these markets are 1,000% different than the markets we've been trading the last couple of years. If you know how to trade these specific types of markets, you will then be able to trade any market. Okay, so we will be focusing on strategies specifically for this kind of incredible volatility that we're getting. Not only how to make money in it, but how not to get your ass handed to you, because that's what's happening to a lot of people. These markets can be fun, but you got to know what you're doing, or you're going to get your head handed to you. All right. So anyway, this will be awesome. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. Again, here's the links. If you don't have these tools and you want them, you got to go to simplertrading.com/new. And if you've already got the tools and you just want to do the live trading, simplertrading.com/trading. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Be safe. And I'm looking forward to working with you on Saturday.